A helicopter firm cancelled on my brother's wedding last minute. Now they are at the top of Google search, damaging their reputation. So my kid brother got married 12 years ago this year. Being non-religious, they got married and had their reception at a tithe barn at a country house. Thinking of something different for their wedding present, my dad decided that instead of getting several wedding cars for them, he'd hire one car to take them from the venue to their hotel, and as a surprise hire a helicopter to take the bride and her dad from my parents' place where she was getting ready to the venue. Then after the ceremony, the newlyweds, her immediate family, and ours would each get a 10-minute flight. So we set out looking for a helicopter hire. We found this one company. They survey my parents' place to make sure they can get in and out and do the same at the venue, confirm all is okay, and my dad signs the contract and pays the 50% deposit. 3 weeks before the wedding they ring back and decide that they can't actually get the helicopter into either the venue or our field and would be cancelling the hire and would be refunding the deposit when they do their next invoice pay run at the end of the month. Cue my old man losing his poop and by the end of the day getting his money back. What followed was a mad scramble to find another helicopter firm, which in rural Lancashire isn't exactly to be found on every street corner. After a fraught couple of days, we found another firm who are more than happy with getting in and out at both places, which is cheaper and more relaxed than the initial firm. When we told them why we were booking at last minute, they told us that we weren't the first that they'd heard of being let down by that firm. Here's where the petty and honestly unintentional revenge comes in. Back then I was a frequent contributor to a car forum I'll call Mark's Car Nerd Forum. Not a massive one. At most I think we had about 70 members, but it was ours. One guy. Sorted out, set up, and we each bunged him a $5 a year to admit it. There were half a dozen sub-forums where we'd chat about motor shows, new car launches, F1, and one invite-only VIP area. Anyway, out of frustration I posted on the open pages about how pissed off and stressed we had been over the whole thing with a post title of Beelzebub's Helitours are a bunch of absolute CNTS. Nothing I wrote was untrue, I just laid out the facts of what they did and the stress it put us through a couple of weeks before the wedding. Of course, the guys all chimed in support about how crappy we'd been treated until someone pointed out that we had paid for a Google ranking boost and that if someone searched for a particular thing then our forum would be on Google page 1 because one of us had posted about it. So everyone changed their post to start with a version of what's that? Beelzebub's Helitours are a bunch of absolute CNTS? Within a day, if you searched Beelzebub's Helitours on Google, one of the top results on page 1 was a link titled Beelzebub's Helitours are a bunch of absolute CNTS. Eventually one of the directors of said firm emailed the forum admin demanding the post was removed as it was damaging his firm's reputation. Dave the admin told him that unless he could provide irrefutable proof that my version of events was in any way incorrect then the post would be staying up. This was followed by various threats of legal action, to which Dave responded by locking the post with the message Beelzebub's Helitours have threatened to sue Mark's Car Nerd Forum to remove this post. We have repeatedly asked them to provide evidence that this version of events is in any way untrue, which they have failed to do so. Until such time that they do, this post will remain up as a true account of how our member was treated by them.